I've been reading the Warhammer books recently.
Yeah.
The like Warhammer fantasy ones, not the Warhammer 40k sci-fi big ones. And
I know what you're talking about, Joe.
all right. Yeah, but it's
I mean, how many other Warhammers are there? It's not like there's another 30k that came beforehand.
it's not 30k so much as it's called the Horus Heresy. But yes, that is also
The whole heresy.
Horus, like
Whew.
the Egyptian dude. The whole heresy would be interesting, to say the least.
In line with Catholics.
What?
Take that, Francis.
You take your religious views out of here, man. This is a secular podcast,
All people are welcome except for you, Francis.
and the Catholics apparently.
No, just Francis.
I don't know who Francis is. Who's Francis?
The Pope.
Pope Francis. Why don't we want the Pope involved?
Because he'll watch it to be like, mine's average at best.
Wow.
And then all of the
Mr. Francis, are you with us in the room right now?
Yes.
I'm not a religious man, but I like your hat.
Thanks. I did not make it. I was given it by a man.
Isn't he Argentinian? I mean, aren't you Argentinian, Mr. Pope?
You live in Rome for so long, you'll pick up the accent.
He lives in Vatican City.
Yes.
It's not. It's a separate
Yes.
Okay.
Despite the fact that it's not an Italian accent either, this is just kind of like
it's
strange, romantic, like
high pitched.
Hello, how's it going?
It sounds like Borat.
Don't you dare say that.
What was I even saying about Warhammer?
That you were reading them, and there was. Horus Heresy.
No, that was you. You sort of. As I say, in the Warhammer world, there exists a race of people called the Skaven, which are rat men, half rat.
Oh fuck!
Half men.
The Rat Pack.
All man. And if you could be any sort of half man, half beast combo, what beast would you choose? Because I personally would choose some sort of bird, because I think bird heads are pretty scary, but not like an eagle or a cool bird.
Oh, dude, you could be like a shoebill.
I was thinking more of an ostrich, or one of those birds with the naked heads, so you just see sort of the weird pale
like a
skin.
vulture.
Yeah,
you could be a cassowary, man.
Don't they have the weird feet with the big claws?
Yeah, they do, but then you also have a giant bone frill that you can just ram into people with and split their rib cage in half with.
Like that Dark Souls character we made.
Yes, like that. The one that looked like Benedict Cumberbatch made love with a boat.
Yeah, he had a sharp prow for ramming a trireme or something.
You just throw him at Unix Gundyr and his helmet just splits open like it
carves him in two with his nose.
Like if you hit a tin can with some like a can of beans with an axe, you just smack.
So what animal would you choose if I'm going to be some kind of emu man?
Gut instinct is to think of something that's threatening so that no one would fuck with me. But at the same time, I want to keep my general temperament. So knee-jerk response is something like a Wolverine or a badger.
Holy cow! Well, yeah, a Wolverine head would be pretty scary. Badger head maybe not quite as scary because I know they're dangerous, but they look cuddly.
They do look cuddly, which is why you get in close and you're like, haha.
And then they give you tuberculosis.
That's kind of sketchy. That's sketchy.
Yeah.
I get the feeling it's just because farmers are dickheads, but moving on.
Well, that's true. People like killing stuff,
Yeah,
it's a good way to pass the time.
What have the badgers ever done? Just because your cows are getting diseases doesn't mean the badgers are doing it. You just don't like the fact there's badgers in your woods.
Stealing all your, what What do badgers eat?
Precisely. They don't eat anything to do with what
They
the
don't
farmers
eat.
produce.
They never sleep. They
They're
just
always watching.
hunt. Man.
Can you imagine like the farmers are like nervously glancing out the window, and there in the bushes there's just like those like reflective eyes of just a wall of badgers, and they're like, no.
It's like in like Scooby Doo or something, where like all the comical sort of cartoon eyes are
No,
watching them from the shadows.
I was thinking more like, when you shine a torch around in the garden and there's like a fox in there and they have like the reflective eyes.
Or it's a gator.
A
Oh
gator.
no, the gator guardian. They have reflective
I never
eyes.
I never got that joke as a kid. I never got most of Monsters Inc. as a kid.
Monsters Inc. is fantastic work of art.
It is a fantastic work of art, but it took me until I was 15 before I realised what the joke, hey, could you pass me some odorant, meant.
That's a good one. Is it when they wet dog or garbage or something?
Yeah, I was just kind of like, yeah, the monsters, they do that type of thing rather than, I see what, didn't we watch it in like year 11 English?
Maybe we didn't do much work in any GCSE classes. Now that I think about it,
I mean, maybe you didn't,
it felt like
Mr.
we
High
did.
Achiever.
No, it felt like we did work, and then being a university student, it's like what?
You look back at it and you're like, you know nothing of pain.
It's just like GCSE science questions for like, what is the element that has the symbol Cu? And it's like, oh man, it's like sweat pouring down your face. It's like you're messing with your collar.
Yeah.
It's thinking back on your entire life. You're like, I know this.
And it's just there like 3 marks. It's like, what's the chemical equation for glucose? And you're just like, fuck.
Like C6H12O6, something like that.
Yeah, I think
Boom,
it is.
there you go. 3 marks, GCSE.
Bitch.
Oh, Fraser,
What?
I've got a fantastic topic.
What have you got?
Let's talk about dogs.
Let's talk about dogs.
What is your favourite type of dog, buddy? For the audience, I think.
Boy, like, here's the deal. I love all dogs.
I love all dogs too.
In terms of like the dogs which I'm most familiar with, I have a history with lurchers because that's what my dad likes. He likes
the tall one from the Addams Family.
Isn't that Cousin It?
I just cut that. No, Cousin It's the hairy one. I was on about Lurch, which is
Not familiar with Addams Family.
Oh my god.
All I
Oh, so flat.
All I know is that we can keep it in. This is funny. All I know is that that he's just there, like he's infatuated with Morticia, and that's it.
Cousin It is?
No, Lurch.
Lurch is?
Yeah, right.
No.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of something else. I tell you what.
It's like Gomez, isn't it? Gomez and Morticia.
Yeah, I know, but I tell you what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking I keep mixing up the characters from Addams Family with the characters from Carry On Screaming.
Oh yes, what a more accessible reference, Fraser.
No,
Carry On Screaming.
No, it's because 50% of the shit that happens in Carry On Screaming parodies Addams Family, and I've only seen Carry On Screaming.
Rob's just messaged me, so it's coming on now. I like to imagine Rob's crouched on the floor in his underwear, just like with a pasty in his hand, and he's just like shoveling it into his mouth. It's like a gremlin.
No, instead of it being like a pasty, I'm imagining that he's slowly smearing like KFC bargain buckets all over his chest.
Just the buckets. He's not taking the chicken out. He's just got like 6 KFC sharing buckets, and he's just like rubbing them on himself, just cardboard on skin.
No, I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking like he's crushing it against his chest, so all of the grease and the gravy comes out, and he's just smearing it on there.
You gotta get the gravy out.
I'm back now.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
You see, Lurch isn't a prominent figure in the Addams Family movie.
Yeah, he is. He's the chauffeur.
Thank you, Rob.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's the one that looks like Frankenstein's monster.
Like, I've seen him before, but I haven't seen him before.
That's deep, man. Fizzer, do you want to do the intro? It's kind of your thing.
I guess so. But do we know what we're talking about?
Not a clue. It's gonna be just a rambling nothingness of a show, and I'm fine with that. I think
Yeah,
we need
maybe
to do
that could be the new format.
I literally have nothing prepared.
Honestly, like, Idiocyinmono does sound as though it should just be
Rambling.
three dudes in a room talking about nothing. Except we should all be talking like this, and nothing should be changing, and our voices should be monotone.
We're in mono. It's the joke.
I can't wait until season 4 when I'm in left channel, Rob's in right channel, and then you're right down the center.
No, I'm not in any channel. I'm the I record myself on my webcam just like doing sign language.
Oh my god. You do real-time sign language.
You somehow figure out a means of which making the phone vibrate to your voice. So like when they're listening to us on the go, it'll be me, Rob, and then
I have to hack people's phones.
yeah.
It seems like a lot of work.
Hello and welcome to the Idiocyinmono podcast.
Wow, you're firing in today. That's a lot of energy, buddy.
Yeah,
You didn't have this energy 3 seconds ago when we were talking.
Wow, my blood's full of adrenaline right now. I don't know what to do with it. Hey, everybody, my name is Fraser, and speaking with me today is Joe.
Hey.
And Rob.
Hello.
You see, I'm eating both of their souls. That's why they both sound dead inside.
Rob actually sounded a lot more upbeat than usual.
Yep.
Guys,
come off
anyway,
a hard
turning
shift.
it back down.
Guys.
Yes, Rob.
Why does Snoop Dogg carry an umbrella?
Why does Snoop Dogg carry an umbrella?
Ooh, what are you talking about? Hey, buddy.
Can you just...
Wait, I mean...
I'm asking you a question, Joe.
Okay, when have you seen Snoop Dogg carrying an umbrella? Is that his signature thing?
That wasn't the question. It's why does Snoop Dogg carry an umbrella?
I assume it's in
To
case
protect
it rains.
his hair.
It's faux drizzle.
I feel as though that's insensitive.
Let's move on.
Oh.
Let's just move past it. Let's not acknowledge that ever
Is
happened.
that going to be the theme? Are we going to have Snoop Dogg jokes the entire time?
Oh my god, no. Why did the snowman have a smiley face?
Why?
Because he heard the snowblower was coming.
I don't get it. It's a snow blow.
No, the snowblower. It blows snow.
There's a thing called a snow blower.
I feel like it's an American thing.
Is it like a leaf blower, but really ineffective?
No, it's twice as powerful, so it picks up the ice from the pavement and flings it at your
It's
neighbor's
like a
cat.
localized blizzard.
Yes.
Oh, no, it's like a...
Or is it like a lawnmower?
Yeah, it's like a lawnmower, but for snow.
Oh, I think I've seen them. Like ski
Yes,
places
so
in Austria.
It sucks up all the snow and then shoots it out.
Yeah, they like use them on like roads and stuff to sort of clear them a bit. I think.
All the pictures is just it like spraying snow everywhere.
Well, that does make sense.
It feels kind of ineffective because all you're doing is picking up the snow from one place and firing it at another place.
Well, ultimately, what do you want them to do, Rob? Do you want them to convert the snow into its like component energy and use that to power some kind of like nuclear reactor?
Yeah, that'd be way
do you
better.
want to break the molecule and like have it so that we're just hydrogen and oxygen?
Do you want them to fire the snow into space? Like where? And ultimately, whatever they do, they're going to be moving the snow from one place to another.
Do you want to perform like do you want to perform like the same explosion that happened on the Hindenburg but powered by snow?
Did the Hindenburg explode, or did it just burn?
I think what happened was there was like some kind of burning on the canvas, and they reckon it's because of like the paint that they used, like well, how they treated it, and then that
Did
lit.
they treat it badly? And it was like, I don't like you guys. And
It's
it
like I don't
combusted.
like you guys, and then like it set the hydrogen on the inside on fire.
As they fell, it was like, serves you right. But in German.
Like the footage that you see, you can't see like the small face in the front of the blimp where it's laughing maniacally as it plows into the dirt. Oh, it's probably not a good thing to put on the internet, is it?
Fraser, you're
What?
making jokes about Hindenburg.
No, it was something
Fraser,
else.
my great-great-great-great-grandfather died.
Do you remember?
He wasn't on the Hindenburg. He just happened to die at the same time.
It was of natural causes. He was an old man.
Do you remember when we studied Out of the Blue, that one poem about 9/11?
Yeah. Where is this going?
Okay.
When we read that, for some reason, like the thought process went through my head was like, wow, this is pretty dark. Is there anything worse that could possibly happen? And then the thought process was like, wait, what if the Titanic was attached to the Hindenburg, and then that flew into the World Trade Center? And for some reason, that image alone of the hobbled together monstrosity of that scene, it just made me start giggling in the middle of the lesson. And Rob was sat opposite me, and he was just there staring at me quizzically, like, "What the fuck?" He's laughing.
Yeah, because we're reading a poem about a man who's stuck in the World Trade Center on 9/11, and Fraser's there giggling to himself. And I've got to be honest, the explanation that I got, I wasn't expecting the bloody Hindenburg Titanic crashing.
The Hindenburg flies into the Twin Towers. That's what I was saying. Probably isn't a good thing to do online, just because people are still very, very touchy about the whole 9/11 thing.
Yeah, I don't know why. People are so sensitive these days.
Yeah, I know. It's not like people died. Although, like, it's gonna be. How many years do you reckon it's gonna be before they remake, before they make 9/11 into a movie, but it stars like the modern day equivalent of Leonardo DiCaprio?
I'd say at least one.
And it's like James. It's like the
Okay, Google. 9/11 movies.
There's that one with Robert Pattinson that has nothing to do with 9/11 until the last minutes of the film, where it zooms out.
There's one called World Trade Center.
There's one with Nick Cage in, I think, where he's like a firefighter.
Yeah, Nick Cage and Michael Pena.
Is Michael Pena?
So there you go, Fraser. There already are movies being made about it.
I wouldn't put Nicolas Cage as the heartthrob, or Michael Pena that Leonardo DiCaprio was in Titanic.
So, why would you want the heartthrob in a film?
Because, Luke, here's the deal. Titanic was a tragedy, right? But the biggest tragedy was the social injustices that Jack faced.
No, I feel like it
whilst
was.
aboard the ship.
I feel like it was the thousands of people that died.
What do you mean social injustices? He didn't steal his ticket to get on.
I mean, yeah, but he's a charming Irish person who doesn't sound Irish. You know, it's like if you can do something where it's like, oh my god, thousands of people died in this incident, and then like interlace it with a love story. There's only so long before the insensitivity of Hollywood makes it so that it's like
thousands of people die on the Titanic.
Pretty sure,
Okay,
yeah. It's like 4,000
How many
people
died on the Titanic.
It's like 4,000 people, right?
Here's a summary from Esling.
1,500.
1,503 people total died. One of the first lifeboats to leave the Titanic.
There you go.
You just cut off Google like that.
Google's my bitch. Hey, Fraser, do you think you could just nip downstairs, see if Francis is still around? Because
I'm
sure Rob would
I'll
love
track
to
him
talk.
up. Don't worry.
Okay, Rob. Fraser's gonna get Francis for you.
Hello, everybody. It's just me, the Pope.
Oh, here he is. Hey, Francis. Where you been, buddy?
How's it going, my friends? I don't know how this microphone works.
Do they not have microphones in the magical lands of the Vatican?
No, we don't like that. It's not
Oh,
very.
He's
get-
sounding more and more like Luigi.
it's not the Catholic, is it?
we have like the podium, and that is it.
No, you just yell. You just shout at people.
The voice of God travels through their heads. It's like the inbuilt PA system of heaven itself.
Are you the voice of God? That
We
sounds
won't
very
get into that. This is about fun.
egotistical. Okay. Francis, whilst you're here, I just wanted to quickly ask you about something that's been bothering me for a little while.
Yeah.
Listen, Francis, I was just wondering,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
do you think you could address the issues of serious child paedophilia within?
Oh my god!
I want you
Church?
to
No.
watch me chuckle.
There's a very high incident rate of
Oh my
paedophilia
god!
within the ranks of the Catholic Church, especially the high ranks. I was wondering if you could just quickly deal with that issue for me.
He's gone.
Oh, oh well. Next time, big PF.
I really shouldn't have left the window open. Right, okay, so Dark Souls is getting a remake.
Woo.
So, what's our stance?
I stand with some of the people I've heard say they shouldn't remake it because the part of like the whole thing of it is because if they remake it, they get rid of all the
If you mention the word difficulty, I
No.
will materialize physically in your house and
no
strangle you to
if
death.
if they remaster it, they get rid of all the bugs and shit, don't they?
Yes.
So that's part of what makes Dark Souls is they had all these like really weird things
So
or
you're
like
saying
exploits or bugs.
you're saying they shouldn't make the sewer system and what's it called, the shithole at the bottom in the swamp.
Yeah.
Deadberg or whatever? I don't
No.
know.
It's like Vile Town or something.
Oh, Blighttown.
Blight Town, that's the one. It's been a bit since I've seen anything to do with Dark Souls 1. Blight Town, you're saying that they shouldn't fix the frame rates in Blight Town, and that you should continue to just trot along at 2 frames per second.
Yes.
I mean, I honestly
That's the
remember-
experience, the ambiance.
ignoring the fact that what you're talking about is total bullshit.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure that they aren't gonna. If it's a remaster, it's probably going to be. They just update the graphics and maybe improve the frame rate, like Fraser says, and then that's
but
it. I
what's-
don't think they're gonna get really in depth and start changing, the actual proper code.
They're saying that they're not going to be importing any assets from like DS3 or anything.
But it doesn't need to be remastered. I don't get.
Well, no,
the point.
that I mean that's my stance is that it's of the modern thing where like it's too recent to actually be
Yeah, that's what I
remastered.
mean. Like
There's
when
no
when they did
proper
the
nostalgia for it yet.
when they did the Halo anniversary, I was all about that shit because I played Halo. That was the first Halo that I played on like the original Xbox. So like when they brought it out again, but like they redid it, that was way cool. But now they're doing Dark
It was
Souls
also
thing.
like 15 years later or something.
Yeah, the Dark Souls has been out for like not even 10 years.
It's not as bad as things like Grand Theft Auto or whatever, where it's just kind of
Yeah.
like where they just kind of slap it onto another console and ship it out. Like that
Yeah,
has
that
been
was-
about
that was
7
shitty.
years.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, this is basically a port to the Switch because the Switch needs more games. And that's fine,
Skyrim.
whatever. My mum has a Switch, so I'm not gonna get Dark Souls. I wouldn't get it anyway. I already own Dark Souls.
I probably would because I've never actually played the first Dark Souls.
But like, I don't object to its existence so much as it's just like I don't think there's really a need to remaster it yet. Give it like another 5 years and then probably.
The only thing which I can think of is that you know how the patch on the port on PC is like absolutely god awful, except for like this one this one mod that you can apply to it, where it's like it unlocks the graphics and like makes the frame rate better.
I
And
remember that. That was years ago that I remember that story coming out. But yeah, yes, I do remember.
And so, like, if you look at the comparison between the unlocked version of like DS1 and the fully realized potential of DS2, DS1 actually had like really comparatively had like much better graphics, but the hardware of like the Xbox 360 and PS3 couldn't actually handle it and like run it at consistent rates, so everything looked like shit anyway. And then when they did it on the PC, it went even worse, except for like this one mod where everyone was like, "Holy fuck!" So.
Yeah.
So when they say that they're porting it and it's maybe a graphical update, I think they might just tweak that a bit so that it's like the standard.
Okay, but I mean, so they're gonna update the graphics. Like
I mean,
said.
I'd quite like it if they made Izalith better, because because I've seen footage of that part of the game, and when you reach that part of the game, it's quite clear that the game designers were like, "Oh shit, we're shipping next week," and so they basically just clicked and dropped random enemies into all different nooks and crannies of the landscape.
I think you're getting very in depth for a game I haven't played in like 5 years.
Like other areas of the game, you'll have like something hiding behind a post, or hey, check it out, this is where this guy goes, and this is where this, like, you know, in like the skeleton place, there's like skeletons that kick you off cliffs, and it's like an elaborate ruse. But then in this area, you'll just come across like the same enemy just staring at you.
They aren't going to change the game. It's going to improve the graphics.
Yeah. Okay. I was just saying that would be nice if they did change that.
You haven't played the game though.
I want to play the best version, Joe.
Okay.
I want it where it's got a secret feature that if you press a certain button and you're playing a female character, it shows you her boobs. Also better graphics.
I want it so that if you press a certain button, you're playing a male character, you can swing your dick around like a long sword.
Listen, I think we need to stop it because this over-sexualization in games is ridiculous. I think can I just move on to a new topic? So Nier Automata is one of the best games of the last year. And it had a fantastic, robust, pert combat system with bouncing, beautiful fight scenes and animations.
Very voluptuous graphics.
Yep.
Voluptuous
it was
graphics.
Juicy is how I would describe it.
Yes.
I was going to say, while you were making like that sexualization joke, that you just kind of play like a cutscene from Bayonetta over the front of it and have it slowly drift from like right to left across the screen. Like one of the scenes where like she explodes out and she's naked and like her hair turns into demons.
Oh, sweet man! That means we get to put pictures of like 2B in, and then like you get that sweet boobs on the thumbnail. Then we really will be YouTubers.
I thought that 2B's whole thing was her wonderfully sculpted butt.
Yeah, that's true. It is.
It was the perfect butt.
That entire scenario was weird to me. Wasn't there
an interview with like one of the game designers, where it's like the director was like, the butt needs to be perfect.
And it's like
it was all anyone talked about for like 2 months. So I'm pretty sure it worked.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure it's just because that's his kink.
That's my kink, Cap. I'm always horny.
Horny on the main.
That's my secret, Cap. I love perfect
Big butts.
Just bubble butts.
It's not exactly a kink, though, is it?
Bubble butt. Bubble butt.
No, Joe, we'll get copyrighted.
Oh shit! Yeah,
it's too good.
Your pitch.
Quick, sing out a tune.
Bye.
That was close. We almost got smooth McGrooved.
Can we? Instead of Bayonetta going across the screen, can you instead have it so that you're talking about sexualization of women in video games as like a section of like the music video for Bubble Butt goes across the screen?
You're taxing my already completely terrible and fully utilized editing skills.
Like the bit where she's twerking and tearing down a building.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Is that like with the vibrations of her ass?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
like
you know that
she's
Tesla machine that
she-
supposedly could like destroy buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
In order to protect it
shoot
and
lasers.
keep it away from the government, it was hidden inside the butt of a
Yeah.
voluptuous black woman.
No, like in the music video, from what I remember, because I was drunk at the time, Rob. She like leans against the building and like both hands, and then like bends down, and then like she starts shaking her butt, and the earth shakes.
Oh.
Give me a butt big enough and I shall move the earth.
Give me a butt plug point, and I will make someone happy. Looking at you, Archimedes.
Why does Waldo wear a striped shirt?
We
This is
can't
Waldo?
call him Waldo.
Okay, why does... Joe...
Rob, is your new thing ever since the Christmas special that every episode you're just gonna do the occasional joke?
Yes.
I like it. It's good. It's quirky. It's original. I like it.
Oh, what's the difference between the Starship Enterprise and toilet paper?
One's a spaceship.
And nothing, they both orbit Uranus wiping out Klingons.
I thought they both go where no man has ever gone before.
That's a pretty good Fraser. That's probably better than the actual punchline. Also, the Starship Enterprise very rarely was in like the solar system, was it?
Yeah, it just kind of dooted around the rest of the galaxy.
Doot.
And it's like the weird ambient noise of the Enterprise. Like I've heard loads of people say like, "Oh, it helps me sleep," but I listen to it and I'm just there like, "Oh, it's like when I try to go to sleep and my laptop hasn't shut off properly."
The hell are you talking about? Ambient noise of the Enterprise? You know it's not real, right?
No, like there's
Fraser,
like this
could you sleep if the entire fucking SS Enterprise was by your house?
Considering it's like the size of, it's like 2 kilometers long.
There's something about the idea of being like, "Oh man, what a beautiful night's sleep," and then it's like the overwhelming noise of like jet engines outside.
Like your entire house is vibrating.
It's just like a.
I tried to listen to ASMR to make me sleepy the other day, and all it did was make me laugh.
Horny.
Because I'm horny, what?
No, it made you horny.
Some of them are quite,
They're all sexual, dude.
I don't want to say stimulating, but,
They're all like, "Oh yeah, you're lying there, you're getting all comfy for me? Oh yeah. Oh, you look so comfortable right now."
It's a good job that we're recording this because we could sell this as our own separate product.
Oh, that's good. We should get into the ASMR market.
There was one that was really weird. She was like, "I'm going to make some kissing noises now, because that makes you feel all personal and cared for." And it's like, is this for like a lonely person? Is this
That's
catered
all.
for me now?
No, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to say that ASMR is just for lonely people.
It probably is.
Nah. I do find it weird where it's like, "Now I'm gonna brush your hair," and then you watch as they like get the mic and then they like drag a brush over over the pop god, so it's just kind of like, "I'm gonna brush your hair," and then it's just fucking.
The first thing of ASMR I ever saw was just that hairdresser one where they explain what the effect's called and stuff. I thought that was kind of funky because I listened to that years and years ago, but like I never really realized it was this massive thing until it like 2 years ago type thing. And
Like
it just confuses me.
it is effective. Well, I can see why a lot of people think of it as like a porny thing, just because it's like someone breathily.
Do I make you porny, baby?
Porny baby. Because they just kind of breathily talk into your ear, and you're like, "Oh yeah."
Sorry, what accent?
Ringo Starr.
I don't know.
Ringo Starr.
I don't know.
Don't think that's the right accent at all, is it, Fraser?
I don't know. I'm not good at accents. I'm not good at anything. I'm a terrible man.
What, mate? Do I make you horny?
Do I make you horny, chip chip chiroo?
It's a very randy chimney sweep.
I'll clean your chimneys in a minute, hop hop.
I'll shove my 48-foot-long bristled pole.
Right up your puss.
48 foot long.
Chimney sweep brushes are long, man. My dad has
For-
one.
Oh, is it 48 foot long? It's like the size of a building.
It's
Yeah.
a bit bigger than a building.
Because it's a fucking chimney sweep brush. And do you know where the
He
chimneys...
raises a good point, Rob.
Do you know
That's
where
exactly
the chimneys
height they
are,
would
Rob?
need to be. The height of the building.
Like I said, I remember standing outside before now and watching the chimney to make sure that my dad didn't accidentally knock off the chimney pot whilst cleaning out the fireplace. And I remember just watching as like this brush just popped out. It's just like,
Sorry, Fraser. When were you born?
what?
It was like 1860, right?
What are you talking about, man?
You had to watch your dad clean the chimney. Did
No,
you have to climb up the inside for him as well? Like, starts.
No. I mean, when I say I had to watch him clean the chimney, this was like a year ago. At
Do you
most.
live in some kind of strange backwards world?
Is it Gremlins where the girls
Fraser is a gremlin, yeah.
Is it gremlins that clean chimneys?
No, is it Gremlins where the girls like, oh yeah, my dad tried to climb down the chimney dressed as Santa, but
Yeah, I
he
think
died,
it is.
and we found like his dead body inside the chimney on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I think that is Gremlins, yeah. I love Gremlins. It's such a good film.
What a fucking buzzkill thing, though, to throw out at Christmas. It's like, then he got stuck, and then he died, and you should all feel sad, audience. And then the kids are like, don't do it, Daddy, don't! And he's like, I wasn't, you little fuck.
When you listen to something and you can already imagine yourself hitting the cut button.
Thing is, having a Mogwai does not seem worth the risk.
No, because they're hideous little chubby men.
Yeah, the hideous little chubby men that you can't get wet, and that you
Joe,
have to make
No, you can get wet. They can't.
Joe,
Yes.
So how-
you
Danny
talk
DeVito.
you talk
Danny
about
DeVito.
you talk about having a 1 foot Danny DeVito.
Yeah, but you wouldn't turn into some kind of weird scaly monster if I got
You
that.
don't know that. You don't know what Danny DeVito really is.
Could I Febreze him?
He's from
Instead of
Jersey,
washing him.
not like outer space.
No, he's the trash man.
I'm the
I'm
trash
man.
Yeah, instead of giving him a bath, just like spray him down with some.
That's a
lemon
good point.
Febreze.
Did Mogwai just stink?
You must do if you can't wash them.
Well, no, I think they're like ferrets and that you never need to wash them because they have like guard hairs
That's
and they
true.
just...
Rob, you can wash them, can't you? Because, like, Gizmo makes all the gremlins, but Gizmo's still alive. It's not like he turns into a gremlin.
You just have to wait and like wait with a gun.
So you could wash him. It's just you'd have to stand there with an
Or
empty.
euthanize all of the babies that come out.
They're not babies. They come out as egg sacs, and then they emerge as fully grown, terrifying little naked, scaled creature.
What I'd
people.
like to know is if you dry out one of the other ones, does it lay a gizmo?
No, isn't that what it does? Doesn't Gizmo make lots of furry ones still, and then they eat after midnight, which is what turns them into gremlins? Because I thought because the one that's called like Spike or Stripe, whatever, like that's got the tuft, like the mohawk. I remember him being a little chubby hairy man, and then I think they eat after midnight because they eat all the chicken, and then like they go into like crystallized eggs and pop out. And then, like, they kill that old lady with the stairlift. That's all I remember. Yeah,
It's pretty funny. Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
I don't
pretty funny.
remember. I don't remember Gremlins well enough because I haven't seen it for like 4 years. So you might be right.
Where's the cutoff point for feeding something after midnight?
probably
I'd say before midnight.
No, I mean like does 11 o'clock in the morning count as after midnight?
I'd say it's until noon.
Yeah, that's what I'd go for 12 to 12 sort of thing.
So you can only feed this thing in the afternoon and at like late evening, early night.
Yeah.
That sounds
Also, time zones. You got to think about that.
Right. Yes, of course. We've got to consider the 8-hour time difference if we want to raise a gremlin in the UK.
They're feeding your tiny, like hairy Danny DeVito, and then you realize as you give him like the chicken leg that it's daylight savings.
No.
Wouldn't that mean it's an hour like earlier?
Oh wait, no, yeah, it'd be like the daylight savings has ended. Is it safe to drink from the teat of a cow?
So long. Well, I've heard many different things about this, but milk
No.
straight. Apparently, human milk, right out of a tit,
What? Who mentioned
is
human?
sterile. I don't
Really?
know about
That's-
cows.
I know that's why you give it to babies, because you can breastfeed babies. I know that's a thing, Fraser.
I
Just
don't know about.
mentioning.
I don't know about whether or not the same principle applies to cows. I do know you have
I
to
think-
pasteurize it to make sure there's nothing living in it immediately
Yeah,
afterwards.
I think you can, but you're not really supposed to.
If you
Right.
if you grapple onto the underside of a cow and then drink like a calf and have the raw milk that way, maybe there's not a problem. But then you do have the issue of grappling to the underside of a cow and drinking like a calf.
So honestly, though, if it's like a milk, one of those dairy cows, like, don't they always
They're
need to
pretty
be
chill.
milked
Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, where's the udder been?
into a machine
And then my
and the
mouth.
mouth of a cow?
That's the second one. That's what I'm worried about.
Okay, so you throw boiling water on the cow's udders
No,
to make it clean.
Jesus,
And then it turns the same
And
color
then
as
it
a hot
kicks you
dog.
in the
Yeah.
head and you die.
killing you instantly. Then you're not thirsty anymore because you're dead.
Exactly.
I only thirst for the afterlife. I delve deeper into the duet.
Sweet ancient Egyptian reference.
Yeah, I know, right? It was either that or I say that my soul and spirit get separated and my spirit stays in like the fields of asphodel, and then like my soul goes to the moon. And then my soul goes to the moon where it gets recycled and put inside another living being. That one's Greek, in case you couldn't tell.
I couldn't from Asphodel.
I don't know what's that one actually called. It's like asphodel.
Yeah,
What do you call a dog magician?
I don't know, Rob. What do you call a dog magician?
A labracadabrador.
God damn it. There's that dinosaur one, but I think I already made it.
What dinosaur one?
What you call a large group of ancient reptiles playing various instruments.
Oh, I don't know, Fraser. What do you call a large
It's a
group?
dinosaur orchestra.
That's your brother's joke. You stole that from him.
Yeah, I know. It's because all of mine are situation-based wordplay things that people want to stab me over.
Rob, I asked Fraser this question earlier.
Okay.
If you had to be a sort of beast and man hybrid, like a
Right.
beastman from Warhammer, but you
Okay.
could choose what the beast was, what would you choose? I chose an emu, and Fraser chose a badger.
Oh.
So what? The head of what animal, basically? would
I
be
said
what animal?
either a badger or a wolverine.
You have to choose one, and I chose badger for you.
Fair enough.
Can I have shark?
That's not a beast
Yes,
man.
but you would die.
Why?
But you
'Cause
only
you're on
get
the
the
land.
cookie shark.
Yeah, but he.
You only get the cookie shark, which is about the same size as a golf ball.
No.
You could choose whale, because
That's
whales
good.
have to breathe air.
I've got a tiny head. Wait, is it to scale? So if I have the whale, my head's about the size
Yes.
of my
Yes.
body.
Yes, it is.
Oh shit! Yes, please.
So Joe's an emu man.
Oh my god.
I'm a badger man, and then Rob's got a ridiculously out of proportion whale head. What kind of whale?
Beluga.
Whale shark.
That's not
That's
a
not
whale.
a whale.
It is. It's half shark,
It's
half
got
whale.
gills. You
It's a
still
fish.
die.
Oh.
It's a shark that's fucking massive.
How about
Killer
you
whale.
terrify everyone by having like a wasp head?
But it's a tiny wasp head.
But
No, I meant a very normal wasp, like a giant wasp. I mean, not just like it's your neck, and then in the center is like a little teeny head.
Swamp. Is it like a flat? Is it like your neck is just like suddenly stops and it's a flat surface like a mannequin, and then it's got like a tiny wasp head, or does it bevel into the wasp head?
what? So I have. Do you mean do I have a neck that's normal and then there's a wasp head on top?
Yeah.
Or am I just like completely flat with a tiny wasp head like just sort of on the space between my shoulders?
So like one of them is like a cylinder that's flat, and then you have a wasp head. And then the other one's kind of like a cone that kind of goes up, but where the point is, there's a wasp head.
I feel like the cone would be more unsettling
Right.
because it's sort of like then there's just the tiny wasp head atop the peak.
It's like how Jeff Goldblum's The Fly should have been, where instead of slowly becoming less and less sexy, he actually just like his head just changes into that of like the
to
tiny
the size
fly.
of the fly.
And then he uses his newfound abilities to become the superhero, the Blue Bottle.
Is that the superhero?
No, but
Oh.
it could be for him.
Yeah, but he'd be defeated immediately by Spider-Man.
Ah, I see.
Isn't there that wasp that uses spiders?
I know that
what?
there's a wasp that like burrows into like the mind of what is it? Grasshoppers. They
I've
like
seen.
they like lay eggs in grasshoppers, and
It
then
burrows into the mind.
yeah,
Well,
they lay eggs inside a
phrase
grass.
that in such a strange way. It's like it's some kind of psychic, like
Well, here's the deal.
fifth dimension dwelling.
If you let me
insect.
finish, Joe. Sure. Basically, they lay eggs in the back of the grasshopper, and then when the grub emerges, it takes control of like the nervous system and controls what the grasshopper thinks. So it'll like lead the larva to a safe place and then won't move whilst it gets eaten alive into like while the larva eats it from within.
That's fucking terrifying.
It is legitimately.
There's that spider that does it to wasps, where it like catches them and then lays its eggs inside it. But
There's a wasp that does that to spiders.
Oh, I thought it was
That's
something
what
else.
I was saying originally, and then Fraser started talking about his weird interdimensional being.
Yes, the ninth dimensional wasp. How many dimensions? How many
You haven't
dimensions?
seen a young moose.
What?
What? Hold on.
Have you ever seen it? Hang on, I'll send you a picture now. No, let me send you a picture, please.
Okay. Come on, Moosey. What the fuck?
What are we looking for? Where is it?
It's a young moose.
It's a baby moose. What the hell? It's like they got a regular moose and then made him jacked. They got like a regular deer and then fed him roids.
Is that real?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure because it's on the internet.
Mother, I must feed.
Holy shit!
Oh
You can see like the defined muscles in its joints.
It doesn't. It's just a lump of muscle.
It has like a
With
cute
some
baby
legs.
head, but then the rest of it's roided.
His fucking legs.
And then his legs are way too long for what his body is.
He's got no neck.
He is a Gears of War character.
He skips leg day.
Oh man, I think we should end on that. I think that's a good end.
Good end. Laughing at a baby.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for joining us with this rambling nothingness of a podcast.
We
I've
didn't.
been Joe.
Nothing interesting to talk about. I'm Bean Fraser.
I'm Bean.
I'm being Fraser.
And Francis, too. He was here.
No, I wasn't Francis. You're crazy.
What? Sorry, I nearly gave it.
I can't wait for when Francis meets Swedish Santa.
And the Pope.
Oh my god, yes.
Francis is the Pope, Rob.
Oh shit! I thought. Oh, okay.
You fucking dolt.
Idiot.
I forgot our own joke.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.